Welcome to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry. This is Monday Quilt Chat. This is where we sit down and have a little chat about quilt things, everything I've been doing, everything I've been thinking and planning, and anything else that comes to mind that I feel like we need to chat about. So get your favorite beverage, have a seat, listen, sew along as you listen. Whatever you're doing, this is not a video you have to look up for too much. I usually tell you when I'm showing you something, but just a little background chat you can put on while you're in your sewing room or whatever you're doing. So this weekend I worked quite a bit on my room. You know, I've been doing the whole fabric rolling onto magazine boards, and that means that I'm getting out these bins. Let me show you. Like, I'll have a bin like this, and it's marked either with a color or a type of fabric, and I'll pull everything out of it, and anything close to a yard or over, I'm rolling on these boards. I showed this to you on Friday, but I did want to show you that I got my new 100 pack in. Haven't opened it yet, but I'm just about to. I'm just about to get through the rest of the other stack that I had. And then I got my little plastic clips instead of those pins. And one of you did mention something important about those pins. They can rust. So, you know, if I put those in light colored fabric, well, any fabric, it's, you know, if they're going to rust, they're going to rust. But on light colored fabric, that's really going to show. So I think I will be trading those out little by little as I get time and have them. This is 200, so I can put 2 of these little clips. You've seen these. They're usually on shirt packaging, you know, like a men's shirt. They have these holding the collar down and whatnot. So yeah, there's 200 in a pack you get on Amazon, and then this is 100 boards, so that's perfect. So yeah, I've got almost 3 of my 12 by 12 cubes full of fabric now that has been rolled, but there's much more to do. But what I'm doing is dumping that out. Like I said, rolling everything about a yard or more up. And then everything else, if it's not an already cut fat quarter or half yard, I will scrap that out. Sometimes I'll have a half yard where on one side of the half yard I've cut something out of. So I can cut that into a full fat quarter and fold it just like as if I had bought it as a fat quarter. So I've been doing that, and I'm refilling these bins with those fat quarters and any other fat quarters that I happen to already have, and I'm just kind of storing them there temporarily here on the floor until I can figure out what I want to do with fat quarters and half yards, because they fold up kind of the same. So, you know, I might use one of the big art bins for those. Well, maybe not just one. Or I could possibly no, it would take more than one. I don't know. I haven't figured out that storage part yet. So I've done a lot of that. And anything less than a fat quarter, I am scrapping out, which means I'm making 5-inch squares, 10-inch squares, and 2.5-inch squares. That's what I'm doing with those. So that takes time. It takes time to do that. It's kind of fun, busy work, you know, nothing hard to think about doing, but it does take time. So that's what I've been doing. But I've been doing some other stuff. I have already finished the video for Wednesday, other than the last little shot of all my blocks. I just need to clear off my table over there, or the board one, and spread those out and take a little video of that, and that video is done. So this week we only have 3 of one block and 6 of another. So it's a good light week, and they're very simple. It's not super tiny pieces. Actually, there's no tiny pieces at all. So this week is a breath of fresh air. And then the following week we'll be doing 3 blocks, but altogether I think there's only, well, block M is only 1 block. I think there's 2 blocks, 1 block, and maybe 5 blocks, something like that, of the, let's see, we will have I, J, K, L, and M. Not this coming week, but the next. So that'll be it. Can you believe we're almost to the end of our sew along? It's inconceivable to me that we're that close. I mean, technically the schedule says 3 more weeks, but still, that was 8 weeks. How did 5 weeks go by that quick? I don't know. But we did it, didn't we? I've been enjoying your pictures on the Facebook group, and yeah, that's we can see our progress moving along really nicely. So we have been doing it. Also worked on some of the layer cake Lilly blocks. I don't know if I showed you this one on Friday. I know I had some on the board. I may have had this yellow one. I love that. I just love it. And then also, I know you haven't seen these. This is kind of a forest green, or maybe a, I don't know, sapphire green. That's pretty, isn't it? These are so easy to make. And then I have a pink one. This is kind of a bubblegum pink, I would say. Love those. So now I have 6 of those. I think I'm going to make 20. I think that's what I decided. I'm going to do 4 by 5, and that'll be a nice big quilt. I'll put a nice border on it too, out of one of these fabrics. I have 3 choices I can make for the border. I'll have enough fabric to do like a, 4 or 5 inch border around it. And I'm just going to keep it simple like that. I'm not going to do any kind of piano key or half square triangles or any sort of fancy border. I'm just going to leave it kind of, just letting the blocks speak for themselves and let the fabric speak for itself in each one of these blocks. I think that's going to be have been a nice, easy project, but the impact is great. So yeah, can you tell I'm really enjoying that? Well, I am. I did not get into anything else. Scrappy Celebration. I did all those. And then 3 of these. And no, I did not get to the Peaceful Baskets Sew Sampler Sew Along block that I need to get done. I probably should do that today because I'm going to be starting the block Wednesday with Pat Sloan this week. So that's another bin that I'm going to have to visit every week, and I need to get my Sew Sampler Box Peaceful Baskets block done so that I'll have a couple weeks before the next one comes. September is getting away from us already. How can that be? I don't know. It's cold here. I don't want to say it's cold like frigid cold, but I think tomorrow morning, which is this morning, Monday, is going to be in the 40s. So it's just unbelievable that we're getting into temperatures like that already. I think it's a fluke. I think we'll probably have another warm up before it gets into that on a regular basis. But I put socks on this morning for the first time this year. Well, since winter. So that tells you something. Yeah, I even slept in them. I didn't put them on this morning. I put them on Saturday night and slept in them and had them on Sunday morning. So, yeah, it was, I had to put socks on and I slept in them. Yeah. Okay, let's see. As far as sewing, I wanted to stay on that subject. I didn't. I just did a lot of cutting, and a lot of folding. And then I did what I said. I've already told you like twice already. I do want to talk about the next sew along though. I had mentioned that we will do a row quilt out of these little Jolly Bar books. These are little books that have about 20 patterns in them, each one. And they're about $10. And I am going to pick blocks out of these. I've been looking through these and looking through them again and thinking about it. And I think I'm going to do 3 or 4 rows. I think I'm going to do 4 rows of 9.5-inch blocks and then 3 rows of 16.5-inch blocks. I think that'll make a decent size. Those sizes tend to be in here a lot, 9.5 and 16.5. So I think if we did our road quilt like that, now all of this could change. You know how I change my mind. But all of this could change. But it seems to me that I'm finding a lot of the patterns I want to use from volume 3 and 4. And some of you mentioned that, you know, buy 4 books. Do we really have to buy 4 books? I understand, and it's not going to be for everybody. It might be one you'll have to sit out if you just don't want to buy those books. I totally understand. I'll have other sew-alongs later on that won't require you to do that. But they are $10 books, and you have 20 patterns in each one of them. So it's not a huge investment. And if you need 1 or 2 of the books that you don't have yet, then I would suggest maybe don't eat out one day. Because I went through Chick-fil-A the other day for Mark and I for a meal, and I spent $26 at Chick-fil-A. So it's not even economical to go through McDonald's anymore. You might go and get McDonald's for 2 people, and it's over $20, like $22, something like that. It can be, depending on what you order. But maybe you can cut back somewhere else on, maybe you're a coffee person. Maybe you could cut back on 2 or 3 or 4 coffees for a week or so and get your books that way. But I don't expect you to go get those books if you just don't want them, or you don't feel like you can afford to put the money out for it right now. Just skip this sew along and hang on to the next one. So I don't think it's too awful much to ask. If you don't have any of the books, yeah, you're going to spend, you know, $35, $40 for it. There's a couple of them I think are $8 something, aren't they? But yeah, you'll have them forever. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. It's not just for this sew along. You will have 60 patterns. Was it 60? No, you'll have 80 patterns when it's all said and done. So it's a good value, and they're Jolly Bar books. So if you buy Jolly Bars from Fat Quarter Shop, you'll have no shortage of patterns for those Jolly Bars, 5x10s. If you have layer cakes and you cut the layer cake right in half, and one of the patterns calls for 2 Jolly Bars, you've got it with 1 layer cake. So they're very versatile books. I would suggest having these anyway in your collection. They're going to be very useful to you, I think. And so that's my spiel on that. I will be continuing to plan that a little more concretely, and maybe get a PDF or some sort of instruction sheet so that we can figure out how to put the different blocks together, the different rows of blocks. We might be adding some sashing that's not the same as the sashing for the actual quilt pattern in here, but the block itself is what we're going to make from. That's why you need these. You need these for the measurements of the block. It's quite a shame we can't just share the measurements, but that's just not possible. And I understand why, but the only way around it is to have you get or borrow it from a friend. You know, if you're missing a couple of books, or maybe just 1 book or something, borrow it from a friend, from your quilt guild, or from any of your quilt friends you have that might have it, just ask around and see if they'll let you borrow it, and then you can give it back to them afterwards, and you won't have invested in the book. But that's just some friendly suggestions I have on that. It's something I really want to do, and it won't be super hard, and a lot of you like simpler sew-alongs and quilts. It definitely will be a skill builder in that, you know, if you're trying to brush up on HSTs, flying geese, things like that, that's what we're going to be doing. So it'll be super easy and enjoyable for everybody. Be thinking about what kind of fabrics you want to use, because we're going to be able to just use anything we want. It would even be a good quilt for solids, if you want to do solids just as something different, or maybe just low volume fabrics of all colors or something like that. So yeah, we'll have more details on that here in a couple weeks when we start putting our scrappy celebration together and be done with that project. So that's what I needed to tell you about that. Recent acquisitions. I feel like I don't have all of them here beside me, but the only thing I can come up with was this bundle that I purchased that's perfect for an apron, and it is barbecue stuff. So the apron pattern that I use, the free apron pattern, this will be perfect for that. So I'm going to make, I need to make more aprons because I gave mine away. So it's time for that. And then I also got this rotary cutter. It's a 60 millimeter. I've never had a 60 millimeter rotary cutter. And this is Quilter Select. Y'all know how I love their rulers. Just love their rulers. And so 60 millimeter. I actually bought this by accident. I bought it from Sewell. They were selling cutters of all kinds. And I thought this was a 45 millimeter. And I put the wrong number in, and I got the 60. But I'm like, I've never had a 60. It's time for me to try one. It's heavy, and a lot of times people complain about them being heavy. But it is for either size hand, left or right, either size hand. That's not what I meant to say. It's for left or right-handed people. It's got an ergonomic grip and handle. It has a magnetic blade replacement. Easy, it says. Never drop a blade again. Ergonomic grip and an anti-slip handle coating. And you can use it on everything, not just fabric. Which, we tend to kind of baby our cutters and our scissors for just our fabric. I would suggest continuing to do that. This is by Alex Anderson. You know her. And yeah, I think it works. It has a little bit different feel to it. You unlock the blade, and then you hold the button. Oh no. While holding the button down, slide the lever left or right to move the blade. Oh, this is how to change the blade. I was trying to see something here on how to use it, because I think you just push it. You don't have to open it or slide anything with your thumb, which that hurts me. I have a trick thumb or something. It aches sometimes after doing certain things, and yeah, I don't like pushing that blade open and shut, or a lever for it. The one I'm using right now, the rotary Olfa cutter that I have to slide that thing open and shut, open and shut, open and shut. And I think this one you don't have to do that. I think you just pressure, open it and close it. And it takes a little bit of dexterity to do that until you get used to it. But no, there's no directions on how to physically use it. I guess I figured you should be able to figure that out, right? Yeah, this is on changing the blade. There's a whole diagram on doing that. I'll spare you the details on that because you probably don't want to hear all about that. I did not do very well on my journaling last week, and I really just want to go back and try to remember and fill that in. But that's just being OCD, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So I filled in for Monday and Tuesday what I did, and then that's all I did. That's all I did. I don't know why I did that like that. I just kind of forgot about it. It happens sometimes. I was tired last week. I don't know why, but I don't have any particular reason to be tired or sick. I wasn't sick or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe the changes in the weather are doing something weird. Although it was kind of hot last week. It was. The week started out wonderful. It was like in the 70s and 80s. First couple days, and then I think Sunday, Monday, Tuesday was about like that. Then it got real hot again. So I don't know if that does something to me or what. I don't know. I'll go ahead and show you the art quilt of the week. I'll put a picture of that right here. And it's called Heritage Square, and this is a big one. It's 100 by 100. Becky Zajac of Cherry Valley, Illinois. It says, this was a Quilter's General Store Block of the Month project. The most fun part of the project was seeing the blocks connect, and the most difficult part was using the ruler for cutting the tiny pieces. Becky used Moda's Grunge fabric, custom machine quilted by Irene DeLay, and a ribbon winner in the Block of the Month category at the Sinnasippi Quilt Shop, Rockford, Illinois. So this is quite a project, isn't it? Kind of reminds me of my Happy Days project in a way. But she used all grunge for this, so you can see all that nice texture and different tones in there of the grunge. I love that. I think there's some other stuff in there too, because on those reds, I see like a dot that's in a row. So maybe she used mostly grunge in it. A lot of grunge. Lots of all the different colors of the rainbow there. And that big giant quilt was custom machine quilted, which takes a while, let me tell you. Now this week coming up is the AQS Quilt Show in Lancaster, PA. Don't they say Lancaster or Lancaster? You Pennsylvania people, put in the comments how you pronounce Lancaster. Is it Lancaster or Lancaster? I think in England or over there in Europe where this name is from, it's Lancaster. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or let me know if I'm right too. Well, I think I will get the Peaceful Baskets out today and get that under my belt. I think it's the thing to do right now. And then I'll get back to my fabric folding. I'm not ready to show it to you yet because I'm just so not very far into it yet. Although I have a huge mess in here. I've got stuff all over the floor. I've got a couple of donation boxes for some friends, and I don't know, there's some miscellaneous things over there. It's kind of a mess. And you know, when things are a mess around me, I'm kind of a mess too. I can't think. Since this lack of journaling happened last week. Maybe that's what it was. I bet that's what it was. I was just pulling out and throwing in the floor and throwing on the table and folding and pinning and clipping and all of those things, and I just did not get anything written down solid. But I feel really good that I have Wednesday's video done already. You will enjoy these blocks for this week. They're 9 patches and 4 patches. That's it. So, and they're not little. I think I said that, didn't I? I just woke up from a nap a little while ago, and I usually do wake up a little chatty and a little scatterbrained. Yeah, it takes it a minute to start cranking again. If you're watching this at 6 o'clock in the morning and you said you just got up from a nap, that sounds weird, doesn't it? But this is Sunday evening for me. I came out of our meeting this afternoon, which Ours runs from 1 to around 2:45, and I got in one of those yawning cycles. You ever get that? Where you just yawn one time after another, after another, after another, and your eyes start watering. That's what was going on with me. I had to take a nap. We went and ate, and then I took a nap after that. So I just woke up. So yeah, that's what's going on over here. I will see you on a Wednesday for that video. Get your blocks caught up. This is a good week to catch up. This one and next week I think will be good for catching up, because next week's blocks aren't hard either. One of the three, and like I said, the M block, you only need one block. But the other two, I think, did I say this? Yes, I did. One is 2 blocks or 3 blocks, and then the other one is the most of the blocks, but none of them have small, teeny tiny pieces. Or do they? I think maybe that one does, but it'll be fine. Yeah, it's not as many blocks for the week. So I think that might be all I have for you this week. Things are moving along. I hope they're moving along in your sewing room as well, whatever you're into right now. If you're doing some organization or fabric reorganization, cleaning, or just working on your regular sewing projects, I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope you're able to get in your sewing room a little bit every day and sew a little bit every day if possible, and keep your hobby going, because it's a nice way to distract your mind from the worries of the world. There's so many, and we're all affected by something these days. Even if we're not affected by anything really tragic, we're still, some of us are sick or getting older, or whatever the case may be, or you have family members that you worry about. Things like that, having something to do like this is very good to help you get your peace back and, kind of distract the mind for a little while. And so I think it's important for all of us to do at least a little bit of that every day. It doesn't have to be our main focus, but, a little sewing, little crafting, whatever it is you're into is good for us. So that's what we're going to do this week. And I will be back also on Friday for Finish It Friday. There is where you're going to see what I accomplished this week and what some of you have accomplished as well. And that's pretty much it for today. I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. I don't know how long this video is. It might be 30 minutes long. It might be 10 minutes long. I have no idea, but this is all I have. All right. I loved talking to you. I appreciate each and every one of you that have subscribed, that hit the thumbs up, and also comment. Feel free to comment anytime you want. I love to hear from all of you, and I always try my best to respond, at least with a heart and some other small message if I have time. And go over to the Facebook group too. I'm active over there too. So it's just called Lessons Learnt. So just get on your Facebook and go into groups and type in Lessons Learnt, and you'll see my little green logo come up here in the circle. I think it's a circle. And join. It's public. So you don't have to answer any weird questions or wait a week to get accepted on or anything like that. You can just jump on and start participating, scroll through, see what's going on, see what I'm doing. And I do engage with people over there as well. I tend to comment on every post. So that's it. All right. I will see you back here on Wednesday. Have a great one. Bye.